I'm going to give you a quiz. This is something that I know you can do, but one of the artists you mentioned was Simon and Garfunkel. So if you could you pull this microphone over here? Okay, pull that as your vocal mic.
Yeah.
And then push the one that you're talking on down to your guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, push that one down to the guitar, like you're getting ready to play. Okay. So you mentioned Simon and Garfunkel, which is great because there's an effect. It's not your style, but if you don't mind, the quiz would be, let's say you're on your next show, mm-hmm. and I say as one of the judges, okay, you have to sing the first line of "Sounds of Silence" by Simon and Garfunkel, and I'll give you the lyrics. It's "Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
I've come to talk with you again."
I think.
Can you even remember that?
Yeah.
Seriously, because I'm asking you to do something that, obviously, for your generation, it would be impossible, but it is Simon and Garfunkel, you know.
And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains.
Here he is.
And that's the sound of silence.
That is good.
I can figure it out.
That is really good.
I can figure it out.
I'm sorry to put you on the.
No.
Look, because this is what musicians are all about. You know, we were just working. Some people came in the other day and said, "No, challenge us." It was the group Train.
Oh, really?
And Pat Monahan said, "No, don't worry about it. If I screw it up, you're not going to put it in the interview anyway. But challenge us." And so the real musicians, it's fun for me as a fan of yours to say, can you recreate that? And look, you just did it.
Yeah, I mean, The Boxer's a song I played on the show, on Idol.
Yeah,
and
can you play just a tiny bit of that?
oh, man. I haven't played this in
the clearing, it doesn't matter if you're bad, it doesn't matter. In the clearings, whatever it is.
I'm just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such a promises. Laying low, seeking out the poorer quarters, where the riot people go, looking for the places only they would know. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la.
Oh, that is good.
It's a good tune.
That is really a good one, man. I got goosebumps. Man, you see, I mean, seriously, there are people from all different ages, especially another generation who may have never heard that song, and they say, "I like that. What is that?"
That was cool for me, actually. I got a lot of messages about that. After I did that, and they were like, "Hey, man, this Boxer song." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been around for quite some time." But,
isn't that cool, though? You know it's been around.
Yeah.
But part of being a musician is to take it and do a rearrangement, so to speak.
Well, part of the reason I think those songs are staples now in music and in history, even, you know, for that time period, is just what they were singing about meant so much. You know, it wasn't. You know, they meant it. It was lyrics and it was stories and things that people felt and they would write about. And I feel like, you know, I hope for that to come back. You know, I want that back because I think that that's an important part of music, is being able to connect with it when you're listening to something. It's great to hear a good beat or a good rhythm, but it's also another thing to hear a story someone's telling about something they've been through that you can relate to. I just think that's the most amazing thing.
Who encouraged you the most? Was it your mom, your dad?
My parents, hands down.
Both of them?
Hands down.
You would give them equal credit?
Yeah, I mean, even when I was in school and I was like, school isn't my thing. You know, they were like, they were like, we know, just, you know, get through it and do what you want afterwards. And for me, you know, college wasn't the decision for me. You know, I mean, it's just, I had to pursue music because I love it, and it's almost like, you know, I have a relationship with it. Like if I don't have it, if I'm not performing or stuff, I miss it. You know, and I love any opportunity to play and you know, that's why I did this thing in the first place.
You know, it's funny. It's the way radio and being on the air is for me. If I'm fired from a radio station and I can't be on, I don't want to say I would do it for free, but it's a part of me is missing.
Exactly.
So when you say that, Lee, I know exactly where you're coming from.
It's like if I couldn't do it on this level, I would be doing it somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just the way it is. So, I mean, I love performing now, and I hopefully, you know, things go according to my plan.
No, you will.
I'll be able to do it for a long time.
I can share this with you personally. I mean, the general manager of the radio station called me in last week, and he said, the ratings came out and you've been talking to yourself for 3 months. Me yesterday. He said, you know, I said, but he's talking to Lee Dewyze tomorrow. He said, wow, that guy is fantastic. I said, I can't wait to tell him. He said, you know something, Rick, if we're at a venue, we're at a concert, and we got our best clothes on, We're showered, shaved, best cologne, everything we can do. And Lee is up there and he has that guitar in his hand. He's going to get the girl. It's something about a musician with a guitar in his hand. We can do everything we want to do.
Well, that's really why I started playing.
That's exactly why you started playing. No. And you know it.
No, you know, I won't lie. I can't lie. I mean, when I first started playing, I had a girlfriend at the time, and you know, I didn't know much, you know, about the guitar. I was really young, and like, and I learned like one chord. So I would just sit there and like make up, you know, I love you, you know, I don't know what the hell to say, but you know, that definitely came with it. But you know, I don't know. It's music.
Oh yeah. What was the first? Can you remember the first song you actually learned that was rather complicated?
Yeah. You know that song, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is that?
Would you know my name?
Oh yeah. Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I saw you in heaven. Yeah, it's a good song.
That is a great
That's like
song.
the first complicated song I learned, but my first song I ever learned was like some Beatles song or something. It was probably like, I don't even remember. But
it's funny when you mentioned Eric Clapton, because that's such a departure of what he was at first. When I first heard Eric Clapton, it was somebody brought this album in that was vinyl, and they said, you got to hear this. These are three of the most knocked out, incredible musicians ever. There's Ginger Baker on drums and this guy named Eric Clapton. I said, Eric, who was Eric Clapton? And they said, listen to this, and it was like, in my white room with black curtains. I'm going, who the hell is that?
Exactly.
And then you flash forward to 4 years later, you hear da 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 da, and it's Layla. Yeah. And then I flash forward to right now, and you play that. That's what you want to be, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I strive for it. You know, I don't look at anyone else's career and say I want to be that person. But I definitely, you know, I could say this much: if someone came out and saw me play somewhere, they would understand who I am and what I'm about, you know. And my goal is my personal goal is, you know, I want to be that guy that you want to go see play acoustically. You know, I want to be that guy that you go see and you're like, I want to hear him perform, because the songs are never the same. You know, even if it's the same song, I'll play it differently, and it's just it's an experience for me, and I want people to, you know, share in that experience. So it's just, you know, I just want to do it for a long time.
But you've done it to a point where you mesmerized an entire country. you cut through all of the competition and everything, and now that we have cut the umbilical cord of that, now it's time to keep on proving it. And look at this. I mean, Live It Up is just blowing up everywhere. Sweet Serendipity, obviously you're sitting here because it's like #1 on the countdown. And there's probably I just take this chapter and live it as long as you can.
Yeah, man, and there's gonna be ups and downs. I mean, there's already been ups and downs for me. It hasn't all been like a.
Give me a down.
Oh well, okay, I can give you a down. I mean, I would say, you know, when an album comes out, you know, there's always critics and media and stuff like that, and I don't really, you know, pay 2 cents to that. But you know, a downside to it is worrying about, you know, when you hear things like album sales this and album sales that, or, you know, being played on the radio, things like that. Those things you never thought about is just, you know, your typical, you know, bar player. You know, I never thought about any of that stuff. And once the album came out, it was just, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a down. It's just, you know, people have these expectations, and nowadays I think, you know, a lot of people don't understand how hard the music industry is. And
impossible.
It's impossible. I mean, you know, you have, you know, you can listen to, you know, regardless of what you're listening to. I mean, it could be, you know, your chill station or a top 40 station. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, #1 songs in the country, you know, are dance music, and that's, I mean, that's a hard thing to go up against. You know, it's, you know, it can be a difficult thing. So I wouldn't say it's a down. It's just, it's definitely been a small struggle just to kind of, you know, get into the groove of you know, really understanding the process. But, you know, I'm learning, you know, just the same as a lot of people do, and but, you know, the album's been, you know, successful, at least for me, you know.
No, it's very successful. And Lee, let me just say this, as far as dance tunes go and everything, I really wouldn't worry about it, because where you really make a living and where you really cut through is to be a writer and to have your songs sung or played by other people. And that's exactly where you are. So please, my advice would be to continue to be hard on yourself, but at the same time know that you're sitting here for a reason.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people in this room watching you right now. There's nothing but low blood pressure. You're enjoying, your eyes are clear. You love what you do. You got a great smile. And you know what? the live performance is really your thing.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing for me. And don't get me wrong, I dance music's great, but for me, I mean all that kind of stuff. I mean, some of my favorite music's just someone singing in a guitar. That's some of my favorite music, and so it's just I'm never gonna not do me. I'm never gonna change for anybody, and I'm never gonna stop what I'm doing because someone tells me to. I mean, I'm always gonna do what I want to do. And this is what I want to do, and once, I feel like I really found who I was, a long time ago, and for me it's just a building process and a learning experience all together in one shot. And,
I'm sorry, who is it? You're kidding? I'm sorry, Lee. It's Beyonce at the door. She wants to do a dance song with Lee.
Hey, I'm down. Bring her on in.
See, I told you. Listen, my man, congratulations on everything. I mean,